Right now on IUSTV News, the search for the new Bloomington Police headquarters continues. What location city leaders are narrowing down to and how soon the move could happen.
Plus, are you having issues with the IU bus service? Well, you're not alone. We find out what is keeping some students from finding a bus entirely.
And an Indiana man pardoned for storming the Capitol is shot by police. What police are saying about the shooting.
And we've got sun for the next couple of days, but we do have some rain chances coming up. We'll tell you more here in a second.
The future of the Bloomington Police headquarters is closer to the next step. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sidney Moore.
And I'm Teegan Emerson. You're watching IUSTV News. While a location has not been decided, city leaders met to discuss possible location ideas.
The city is currently working to decide between 3 different locations: Rogers Street, Showers West, or remodeling their current building. But one option seems to stand out more than the rest.
And we really have landed on the best possible scenario for our police department at this point.
And that is at 714 South Rogers Street, close to what many police officers were hoping for.
Their ideal location was at 2nd and Rogers Street. This is just 1 block off from that.
But for many people, this proposal came as a surprise.
This is the first time that we as a neighborhood have been aware of this proposal.
This new location will be near many residential areas, and people at the meeting expressed their concerns and support for the new idea.
The negative is obvious, the noise. But, that's nothing new to us. But the positive is security. And we have security issues, as most neighborhoods do.
Due to the current building structure and size, a move or renovation is necessary as the police department continues to grow and evolve.
Eventually, in the not so distant future, they need to do something to accommodate the needs of the Bloomington Police Department.
While the project is still in its early stages, the city hopes that once a decision is finalized, the project should take 1.5 years to complete.
All right, let's get a check of the weather. It felt much warmer out there today.
I am so thankful for these warmer temperatures coming our way. Walking to class today was so nice compared to last week. Quentin's in with the weather.
Yeah, and it'll be like that for tomorrow too, but here in the next couple of days, that may be destined to change. As for us here today, mid-40s across the board with towards the 50s here to our south. As for our overnight temperatures, starting in the 40s, but getting down into the upper to mid-30s. From in between 12 and 3. As for our morning dog walk temperatures though, around 6 o'clock we're going to have temperatures around 34, getting to right there at freezing at 7 and then at 33 at 8, but with the sun sticking around. We have more coming up. We'll tell you here in a couple of minutes. Thank you.
An Indiana man is pardoned by President Trump for storming the Capitol on January 6 and is dead after being shot by police. We're told it happened Sunday near the Jasper-Pulaski County line in northern Indiana. ISP says a sheriff's deputy pulled over 42-year-old Matthew Huddle for a traffic stop. While the deputy was trying to arrest him, Huddle allegedly got into a physical altercation with the deputy, who shot his gun, killing Huddle. ISP said Huddle had a gun during the traffic stop. Huddle was sentenced to 6 months in federal prison, and he was released in July.
Going to and from class isn't always fun, especially if you have to take the bus.
Our Graham DeWitt spoke with a couple of students to see how buses have been causing problems early this semester.
A lot of the time over at the stadium, there's like 5 buses just sitting over there not moving, so I feel like you can have those going in circulation.
Many students at IU rely on the buses to get to their classes.
Since I'm by the stadium, it's kind of like a 20-30 minute walk to anything, so I feel like it's good to have them.
But while it's beneficial to have a campus bus system, it's not always dependable, leaving students to wait for some time.
The W buses haven't been running very often, so it kind of can range from like 5 to 30 minutes. Also, like the IU mobile app hasn't been the most reliable on kind of when the buses are running or if they're on time.
These issues have been made worse by the first couple of weeks back from break being the coldest this school year.
We were were getting into freezing temperatures early in the morning. Like I have an 8 a.m. And there's freezing temperatures at that time. And I don't think it's really safe to have people standing outside for long periods of time.
It's just really cold, so missing the bus and have to stay out longer is terrible.
Students also said that they have been late to class and work as a result of the inconsistencies. After contacting the bus service, an IU spokesperson on behalf of transportation released this statement. Cold weather and adverse conditions have created a surge in demand for bus service. In response, IU campus bus service has deployed additional buses, though the service has experienced strain during peak demand. IU bus service is actively working to recruit more staff to further increase service to the IU community. For IUSTV News, I'm Graham DeWitt.
Thanks, Graham. If you rely on buses for transportation, make sure to have a plan for when inconsistencies come to make sure you get to class in a timely manner.
For the 4th year in a row, U.S. News has ranked the Kelly Online Masters program #1 nationwide. U.S. ranks online programs on 5 key factors: engagement, peer assessment, faculty credentials, student excellence, and service in technologies. A program's score for each indicator is calculated from data reported to the U.S. News in a nationwide statistical survey and additional data collected in a peer assessment survey. In addition to being ranked by the U.S. News, Kelly Direct was also ranked first by Fortune and the Princeton Review.
Monroe County Democratic Chair David Henry will not seek re-election. Henry has served in the position since 2021, overseeing 3 election cycles. He cited new responsibilities with his family and commitments as an at-large member of the Monroe County Council, which he was elected to in November and sworn in on January 1st. Henry's term ends March 1st.
Bloomington's got a new player in town. Dave & Buster's is finally open. The new arcade, sports bar, and restaurant had its grand opening today. The arcade is taking over the former Bed Bath & Beyond store near College Mall. For more information on all Dave & Buster's has to offer, visit their website at daveandbusters.com.
The city is handing out thousands in grant money for neighborhood projects. Residents can apply for the money to fund neighborhood entrance signs, traffic circle murals, and sidewalk restorations. Other grants cover neighborhood events and cleanup projects. We've got a link to all of the grant applications on this story on IUSTV.com. The annual Kirkwood Closure for Outdoor Dining program is set to make a return this year. City Council signed off on the program and now it heads to the Board of Public Works. This will be the first year since 2023 that Kirkwood was closed in the summer. It was postponed last year because of a major construction project. The closure would run from March to October.
A Republican Indiana state senator wants to make wearing masks at public assemblies illegal, with some exceptions. Senator Gary Byrne of Burneville defines a public assembly as a gathering of 10 or more people. Under the law, it would be a Class C misdemeanor to wear a mask that isn't for a costume, religious purpose, or medical purpose if prescribed by a physician. IUSTV News reached out several times to Senator Byrne but has never heard back. Another bill introduced in the Indiana House would end no-fault divorces. Should the bill pass, if someone files for divorce due to irretrievable breakdown and the couple has at least 1 kid, they would need to prove the marriage is broken. Under the law, they could have only certain witnesses testify to give evidence that the marriage is broken, or the couple could try to convince a judge themselves. The bill has been sent to the House Judiciary Committee.
It's almost Girl Scout cookie season and Wendy's is hopping on the excitement train. Still ahead, the frosty flavor about to become available.
Love in the Library, the new exhibit at IU's Lilly Library, meant to set the mood with underrepresented romance novels. But first,
this was a pain. All those little ramps and stuff.
But first, Coach Sig told IU fans to study later. Well, one IU sophomore maybe took it a little too seriously. His semester-long project nearly complete. It's a story you won't want to miss. It's pretty well known to college sports fans that Hoosiers are among the most die-hard fan bases.
But one IU sophomore is taking that to new heights, bringing Memorial Stadium and Assembly Hall to life in the world of Minecraft. Our Ashton Hackman has the story.
When IU football coach Kurt Signetti told student fans to study later, IU sophomore Jackson Cronlin took it a bit too seriously.
It was after the Charlotte game. I was kind of stuck inside. I didn't drink anything all day, and it was 90, so kind of dealing with heat stroke. I was like, okay, I'm a chill, and then might as well get on the game and build Memorial Stadium.
Block by block, this Butler fan turned Hoosier bringing new life to Memorial Stadium this season, much like fellow Hoosiers, just in his own way.
I did Memorial mostly in that week, and everyone's like, oh, build Assembly, build Assembly. And then I had a lot of time to kill over winter break, so I was like, might as well just do that.
And Cronlin did just that.
I've only been inside this place like 5 times.
Using Google Earth,
Just take the little measuring tool,
and his own visits,
place it down like at the corner.
to make it as realistic as possible. It's been a semester-long project,
This was a pain, all those little ramps and stuff.
one that is now slowing down.
Yeah, I'd say the time to do stuff like this is pretty much just breaks.
This ultra-realistic IU world
Like 80% done because Assembly's kind of on a hill.
carrying maybe not so realistic IU athletic accomplishments.
5 there and then 6 small ones up there. And hopefully 6 ones at least next year.
In Bloomington, Ashton Hackman, IUSTV News.
Cronlin is a sports graphic designer major and says the process of building the Minecraft world is a lot like design. He said he had a goal of being an architect, but the math scared him away.
Valentine's Day is right around the corner and the Lilly Library is getting in the romance spirit. The exhibition Love in the Library began in 2021 as the first major U.S. special collections library to focus on the romance genre. The collection covers works from 1769 to 1999. It features rare books like the lesbian pulp novel and a love story by a Black activist. One of the library's head curators say they aim to amplify underrepresented voices.
We want to build new collections that show what matters to students at IU, what matters to our communities, and sort of rescue these voices from the past that often are thrown away or just considered not important.
Love in the Library is open daily until February 15th.
A change is coming to Google Maps, and it has to do with a recent executive action from President Trump. Soon, Google Maps will change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, following the president's order. In a social media post, Google explains this kind of change is common. Google says it is waiting for the government database to update before the change rolls out. Google will also change the name of Denali, America's highest peak, back to Mount McKinley. Only U.S. users will see these changes. The official names will be used in the rest of the world.
Car maker General Motors is reporting record profits for last year, and it said it expects to make even more in 2025. The company did say, however, profits could be affected by new policies under the Trump administration. Tariffs on imports could disrupt the GM supply chain, causing prices to go up. Plants in Canada and Mexico are both suppliers to GM plants. Trump's position on electric vehicles and emission rules from the EPA could also have impacts on GM profits.
If you're a fan of the famous Girl Scout cookies flavor, Thin Mints, you're in luck. Wendy's is partnering with Girl Scouts for a new dessert item. For a limited time, Thin Mints Frosty will be on the menu. This Frosty flavor will debut nationwide next month. Customers can get the Thin Mint-inspired swirl in either a vanilla or chocolate Frosty.
Whole Foods created its first ever union in the state of Pennsylvania. A store in the Philadelphia Center City neighborhood voted to join the United Food and Commercial Workers Union. The vote was finalized, 130 employees for and 100 against. By joining the union, workers hope to get better compensation and working conditions. The company claims it already offers competitive wages, benefits, and career advancements. But the union faces a long road ahead, being owned by Amazon, which has a history of anti-union stances. It has refused to negotiate with the union workers who were voted in at a Staten Island warehouse. Still ahead, how do you keep your kids safe on the coldest winter days? The tips in today's Health Minute. Plus,
every second of delay in reversing course increases the probability of global disaster.
It's a sign of growing global conflict. The so-called doomsday clock is now even closer to midnight, the warning about what that means for world safety.
And we've got rain to end our week going into the weekend, but those temperatures for after that rain goes through might be worth it. We'll tell you some more about it here coming up.
A major part of staying healthy is getting physical exercise. But for children, it can be hard to compete with things like devices and video games, especially in the winter months.
In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither shows us ways to keep kids active even when it's cold outside.
When the weather gets colder, the body's need for physical activity doesn't take a break. All year long, experts recommend children 3 to 5 stay active throughout the day, and those ages 6 to 17 should be moving for at least 60 minutes every day.
Being active helps our body fight those cells that are going to come in and maybe make us sick. Being active also boosts our mood.
While it's easy to set kids in front of a screen when it's cold outside, limiting time on devices should be something parents do all year long, says Catherine Sherry with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta's Strong for Life program.
We can read, we can play games, but we also want to take care of our body and we want to get outside.
Getting children outdoors in the winter may be a challenge, so Sherry says to do it as a family and make it fun. For younger kids, play I Spy while going on a walk, or get out and collect nature items to later make a collage. For older kids, race to the next mailbox. If you have to stay inside, Sherry says screens can also be used to promote activity. Check out apps that will get them moving. She says there's also something called competition bingo, where children complete tasks like 20 jumping jacks or making up a 1-minute dance routine in order to win.
Doing things that are fun and enjoyable are going to help our kids want to participate in.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Smoking marijuana every day could impact your daily working memory. A new study found frequent marijuana use could lead to issues with retaining information for a short period of time. Researchers found that 63% of heavy cannabis users showed reduced brain activity during a working memory task. The study analyzed data from previous studies that focused on brain function. The lead author says more research needs to be done to determine if working memory returns after ending cannabis use.
The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists set the doomsday clock at 89 seconds to midnight, the closest it has ever been to that marker. The clock was in 1947 as a symbolic attempt to show how close humanity is to destroying the world. It doesn't definitively measure existential threats, but is meant to spark discussion about difficult scientific topics like climate change. Midnight is the moment at which humans will have made the Earth uninhabitable. If the clock ever hit midnight, we wouldn't know it. That would mean humanity had been wiped out by some sort of nuclear exchange or catastrophic climate change.
In setting the clock closer to midnight, we send a stark signal. Because the world is already perilously close to the precipice, any move towards midnight should be taken as an indication of extreme danger.
The clock was set closer to midnight because of a lack of progress on global challenges like nuclear risks, climate change, biological threats, and AI. The clock has sat at 90 seconds to midnight the past 2 years. Turning to weather now, we're seeing a bit more warmth this week.
A little bit. Minute.
I'm ready
Pequito.
for it.
Very, very small.
I'm ready for it.
But at least it's not as frigid. It's going to be comfortable for the next couple of days. We got mid-40s to upper 40s here for our current temperatures for us here during the day. But as for tomorrow, temperatures starting right above freezing, but then again for tomorrow, sunny and building back into those mid-40s. As for Thursday, it's pretty much the same thing. Mid-40s, upper 40s though. Up to the north, a little bit cooler than what they were going to be today, but we're not worried about them. We're worried about Bloomington. As for Thursday morning, we're going to have temperatures again around that freezing mark, and then around noon is when we'll see those chances for rain come in around 50 to 60%, around 12 to 1 o'clock p.m. And then around 4, we'll see those rain chances continue to boost up with percentage chances in between 60 and 70% on Thursday, getting into Friday. As for us for Tuesday and Wednesday, partly cloudy but mostly sunny, getting into the mid 40s and upper 40s on Thursday. The rain chances continuing from Thursday night into Friday, with temperatures building at the 55 on Friday. And then Saturday, mostly sunny with temperatures around the mid 40s. And then Sunday and Monday, temperatures into the mid 50s and then getting into the lower to mid 40s on Monday.
Wow,
Yeah,
I mean,
that was
for being February, what more can you really
Hey,
ask for? We'll take a little rain.
It'll be all right, yeah. I think the next upcoming weeks are going to pretty much stay like this too, so hopefully
Awesome.
we can keep it around.
Well, thank you, Quentin.
Knock on some wood. But, you know.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Quentin. All right, next in sports, the IU women's basketball team is getting back in the win column. Snapping a 3-game losing streak, Allie has the recap in sports when we come back.
Welcome back, Hoosier fans. I'm Allie Holm, and let's catch up on all things sports. Indiana women's basketball snapped a 3-game losing streak with a 73-70 win at Washington. Despite a late 11-0 run by the Huskies that tied the game, Yarden Garzin's career-high 35 points, including a clutch three-pointer and key plays from Chloe Moore-McNeil, helped seal the victory. The Hoosiers, who have struggled with late-game execution, managed to hold on to the lead this time and regain momentum after recent tough losses. Indiana is now 5-4 in Big Ten play and looks to keep their NCAA tournament hopes alive. On to IU men's basketball. They have faltered since their overtime win against Ohio State. IU lost to Northwestern 79-70 and Maryland 79-78 this past week. Mackenzie Mbako led the way in the game against Northwestern with 20 points on 8 of 14 for shooting. IU was down 4 with 44 seconds left in the game when Northwestern went on a 7-2 run to end the game. In their game against Maryland, Malik Renaud returned to the starting lineup for the first time in 3 weeks. Miles Rice and Mackenzie Mbako led the way in scoring with 16 points each in a game that ended in a heartbreaker. IU now travels to West Lafayette on Friday to take on newly top 10 Purdue Boilermakers. Indiana basketball class of 2025 has just earned a new recruit to pair up with Indiana's native Trent Sisley. The 21-year-old Boisean forward Harun Zirno committed to the Indiana Hoosiers last Friday. The 6'7" Boisean has been shooting lights out overseas, shooting for 47% from the three and averaging 18 PPG. Zirno chose IU over the likes of Wisconsin, Baylor, and Illinois. And the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles are set for a rematch as they are headed to the New Orleans for Super Bowl 59. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Buffalo Bills 32-29 and are headed to their 3rd straight Super Bowl and their 5th appearance in 6 years. The Chiefs are coming off a back-to-back Super Bowl victory and are looking to become the first team in the NFL history to three-peat. The Philadelphia Eagles beat Washington Commanders 55-23 to make it back to the big game for the first time since 2022, in which they saw themselves lose to the Chiefs 38-35. And for the latest on all things IU sports, be sure to tune in each week to Hoosier Sports Night. You can catch it Thursdays on IUSTV. That's all for sports. Back to you at the desk.
All right, Allie, thanks.
Let's get one last check of that 7-day forecast.
For sure. As for the start of our week, we again are going to have pretty sunny weather for our Tuesday and Thursday with temperatures staying around the mid 40s. As for Thursday into Friday, we'll see those rain chances come in with those percentage chances increasing through Thursday afternoon into Friday evening. Saturday, we'll see sun come out with temperatures in the mid 40s. Sunday, those temperatures increase, but clouds come in with the high around 56. And then Monday, those temperatures dip back down into 45 with partly cloudy skies.
Yeah, I love when it gets warm and everyone just starts coming outside,
Well,
even though it's like 30 degrees still.
Hey, in comparison of what we have had, we'll take it, you know?
Yeah,
we'll take it.
All right, Quentin, thanks.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching IUSTV News.
For updates between newscasts, check out IUSTV.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. We're back here Monday night. See you then.